Wholeness, beautiful beings. Welcome to Notes of Nara. My name is Nara, and may this message find you well and whole. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you all for your engagement. There's much more to come on this channel in the near future. So today I wanted to talk about the topic, why you can't let go. Yeah, we all have that sometimes. Having to be responsible for loving yourself completely. Yeah. Why is it hard to let go of the past or future? Right? The past has already happened and you desire to somehow go back and rewind and do things over. Oh, I wish I should have said this, or I wish I didn't say that, or I wish I should have done this, or I wish I didn't do that. And then we have the future, right? Which the past can make you depressed and the future can also make you depressed, but more so anxious. Like, what's going to happen if I do this? What's going to happen if I do that? What's going to happen if I live there? What's going to happen if I move there? And all in all, it's robbing you from the present moment. And we can't let go. We bite into the woulda, shoulda, couldas, and we freeze. We don't make a choice. We get stuck in old timelines or timelines that have nothing to do with what's happening right now. The most important thing is to be in alignment of the present moment, because this alignment is drawing directly what's coming your way to you. And so, yeah, easing into the October 2025 energy, I would say that taking the responsibility for truly loving yourself completely, fully, wholly, is by far, for some people, for some individuals, probably one of the most challenging things to accomplish, because those that are deeply empathic and highly sensitive and genuine and sincere and compassionate, we are givers. We love to give. It makes us feel good to give rather than take. We often will give. A colleague of mine recently said, we often will give the very thing that we need for ourselves to feel nourished, to feel whole. We give that away. And that is what feeds and perpetuates old cycles, old wounds, old karma, until you learn the lesson. And boy, have I learned the lesson. And so having to be responsible for loving yourself, meaning you're not putting this responsibility on your job, career, you're not putting this responsibility on your friends or family or lovers, you're not putting this responsibility on society or your government as a whole, right? You are taking responsibility and accountability for loving you. No one can give you the answer to, like, give you a quick fix on how to do this. This is lifetime work. This is ever evolving. I think this is multiple lifetimes and lifelines where we have to just go with the flow and experiment with what it means, what it looks like to truly love yourself completely. Oftentimes we'll run into the arms of a new lover, or we'll run into the arms of a new opportunity or job, or we'll run into the arms of anything to avoid having to face the unloved parts of ourselves. Addictions. Everyone has them. May not be physically detrimental to you. It's a whole spectrum. But we will often have these habits, we'll often have these practices and behaviors, coping mechanisms to hide to deafen a much bigger scream that's coming from your soul. But no one can mute the scream of the soul. No one can put out the soul fire. No one can do that. It may, become dim and small, barely there, just a just a blow away from being extinguished, but the soul fire always remains. The voice of the soul always remains. And when it gets to that point where the soul is screaming for your attention, things begin to shift in your life. Relationships begin to crumble. Connections become disconnected. The path isn't so clear anymore. It becomes foggy, and you feel ungrounded, and you feel like you're in, Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, right? Everything seems so sweet and bright, but then you notice it's toxic as fuck. Excuse my French. And when you begin to see how toxic Willy Wonka's chocolate factory is, you're actually you don't feel lost anymore. Yeah, there's so many questions, right? If you have a question, the answer is already in front of your face. You just have to change your habits and actions to put yourself in alignment to receive the answer. All that we seek already exists. All that we seek is within. Change within so that your without can be in alignment. A lot of the time, you'll be on the path of self-alignment, right? Where you're doing the work, you're doing the energy work, or you're going to therapy, you're changing your habits, you're doing what you need to do to be the best version of yourself, or an improved version of yourself. And you find that you, like a magnet, pull in what seems to be in alignment too. And then as the layers unfold before you, you notice that there's a misalignment. And that's when you have to make that choice. You have to make that choice of, now that I see the truth of this connection with this job, or with this, emotional connection, or with this relationship, or this experience, and I know this truth about myself, do I hold on to it with my cold, dead, bare hands, or do I let it go in gratitude now that I've learned the lesson? Because to hold on to something for a prolonged, to extended amount of time, it gives room for the lesson to become that much more painful, blatantly obvious, and sometimes I remember in my 20s, I would really lie to myself, delusionment, just, or being just delusional. A person or a place or situation would be showing me clear as day, this is the situation, this is what is. But then I did the what if. And my soul is like, no, what is? This is what is. I'm like, no, what if I can change this? What if it isn't that way? And it's very important to not deny what you know, to trust in what you know, to trust in how you feel. Or not how you feel, but what your inner knowing. To deny what you know is to set yourself up into self-sabotage. To betray your own heart isn't just to prove yourself, or to prove your love to another person, or dedication to a job, or overcommitting yourself to something that isn't holding on to you. Ugh. Especially if it's not holding on to you, let it go. You want something, if you're holding on to something that has just, it literally is running away from you, or it's like giving you like, ugh, please stop holding on to me. Let that shit go. Just let it go. Right? It's almost like holding a cat that doesn't want to be held. That cat will give you maybe a few milliseconds to make a very important decision to let it go. If you don't let it go, it's going to scratch you up, probably bite you, scream at you, and then calmly walk off. And then you're left injured. And so, and so, for people, for human beings, for the, human experience, there's so much power in detaching yourself from something that's already taught you what you needed to learn. Yes, it's painful. Yeah, it's not easy because we get caught up in the future. We get caught up in the past. And the present's like, this is what is. Here's my gift. The present presents a gift to us. This is what is. Now, you have a choice. You can continue to hold on or you can let go. This is the ultimate form of self-love. Do you love yourself enough to let it go? Or are you going to put yourself in the back burner and put yourself second? Continue to expand your ever-loving heart, ever-evolving heart, your vulnerabilities. You're going to continue to do that after the universe shows you exactly what is, and you're just like, no, what if? Hold on to what holds you, right? And make sure that what's holding on to you is healthy. I gotta stress health, because sometimes the things that hold on to us isn't good. It's toxic, it's unhealthy, imbalanced, misaligned, and inauthentic, and it's not true. Hold on to what is true, what is honest, what is balanced and healthy. Hold on to that. And if that thing, a person, circumstance, experience isn't holding on to you, and it's a good, healthy thing, but it's not holding on to you, it don't belong to you. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs somewhere else. So you have to let it go. And that's even more painful because you think, oh my gosh, this is very healthy. This is a very healthy thing. This is a very good thing. Why isn't it holding on to me? I don't understand. Look at it, and it ties back to self-worth, doesn't it? Look at, I'm this, I'm that, and this is what I can bring. This is what I can do. Why isn't this being recognized or respected? Or why do I feel like I'm being taken for granted? What am I doing wrong? You see? Then you become unhealthy, trying to hold on to something that's healthy, but it's not meant for you. So let it go. It's much easier to say that. Much easier to say, just let it go. When you're actively going through it or you're watching someone go through it, just be compassionate. I don't believe in linear time. I believe in spherical time, in cyclical time. I believe things continue to happen over and over and over again, and they loop. We will oftentimes catch ourselves in a time loop, and we are not even aware of it. We have no freaking clue. It's just a different man, a different woman, same damn lesson that you didn't learn. And it came and it looped again, and it looped again, and it looped again. Different job, but same work climate, same work culture, same work dynamic. And it keeps looping and looping and looping and looping until you let it go once the lesson is learned. Karma is simple, and karma don't play. Karma is just energy. It's just energy, and energy likes to move. Whatever you give out comes back to you. The end, the word. Energy never dies. People try to store their energy, protect their energy, safeguard their energy, preserve their energy, self-preservation, that bull crap. People try to control other people's energies. They try to manipulate other people's energies, manipulate their own energies. It's just pure energy. Pure energy is pure energy. The only energy that you can manipulate and that you can I guess I don't even want to use the word control, but create with, is yours. Whatever, I have a saying, whatever is meant for me will never pass me by. Whatever is meant for me is coming directly to me. And if you get stuck on the, well, this should be happening now, or I need to do this now at this time, at this date, at this hour, this minute, this second, let that go too. Let that go too. I don't want to make this video too long. But yeah, one more note about, you carry the responsibility and the accountability for loving yourself completely. No one else has that damn job but you. You. Not a lover, not a boss, not your family or friends. It's beautiful when there's open flow, open give and take and reciprocity. That is when love shared is amazing because it's so expansive. When you give, when love is reciprocated, when there's balance between giving and taking between one or the other or groups of people, it grows. And the more it grows, it heals, it permeates. But the more people, you try to shelter and cut off love to control it. Oh, I don't want to get hurt. Whenever I hear the word, I don't want to get hurt, and this is coming from a woman who's been hurt. I've gotten my heart broken enough times. Enough times. And I'm not just saying personally on a personal note, but also professionally, right? I've had certain work experiences where, ouch, but I learned a lot. But when I hear people evading, oh, I don't want to take this risk, I don't want to change jobs, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that because it's like, number one, I try not to judge too harshly because they're actively living out an experience, and they're actively, closing out a cycle in their life, in their path, right? So always give compassion. Compassion is so important, and sympathize and use empathy when you see someone outside yourself making big changes or going through a certain cycle and it's coming to a close. It's a very big deal for a human being. But oftentimes I try to remind people, and just for myself really, life is meant to be lived, and living life is tough as hell. It's tough. Okay? I'm one that it's better to have loved, it's better to have created, it's better to have failed than never have tried, to attempt, to experience. What is the point in living when you don't live? What's the point of having all these dreams and ideas and you don't try, you don't bring them to life? You can bring your ideas to life. Suffering, I believe in this Buddhist way of thinking, this approach. Suffering is unavoidable. Okay? When we are pushed out or torn or cut from our mother's womb, you gasp our first breath of air, it is agonizing. It's painful. Everything's bright and loud. We can't see right. Everything's too loud. The air is cold. It's traumatic. It's a traumatic event for the human body. Just arrives in this realm, in this place. And witnessing a birth and also witnessing multiple deaths, it was 24, 25 when I went back to hospital to work. When I was in my nursing phase, the death process is also quite painful as well. So we have these two phenomenons where scientists can only explain so much and go so far as to what happens next. Where do we come from and where do we go? But during that whole span of a lifetime, whether that's 20 years or 6 years or 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, that's life. That's pure potentiality of creative life force energy that you can just play with, build companies, build a home, close a company, go to school, start a family, or, have a marriage, or leave the marriage, or, take on multiple lovers, or be celibate, or be an artist, try to learn an instrument, travel the world, or, don't travel the world and buy a cabin in the woods up in, Montana somewhere in as a hermit, a bachelor, bachelorette, and you're just deep in the woods with nature. I mean, there's so many ways to experience life. So when you catch yourself saying, oh, gee, I don't want to get my heart broken, to me that says to the universe, oh, she wants to get her heart broken. It's gonna come regardless. That's just part of life. And the best thing I can say through all the heartbreaks I've been through in my life, professionally or personally, romantically or platonic, just disappointments, right? With the heart, I'm crying, like it hurts. You need time to recover, right? I can say it gets so much easier to learn your process of grieving, your process of alchemizing, your process of being present with yourself, observing your weaknesses and strengths, seeing how you respond, seeing how you react to the failings of life. And it pushes you to love yourself deeper, to have more compassion for yourself. So that is what I will leave you with. I'm just gonna go with Nara because it's just shorter, because I have such a long ass name. I love my name. I keep saying it's one of the most beautiful gifts my mother could ever give. A name is very powerful. A name holds vibration. A name holds frequency. It's like a universal phone number, right? It is your spiritual, metaphysical phone number in this life, for this vessel, this experience in this body. And so, but Nara is also called, it's a tree found in, I think, Southeast Asia, but it's also in Japan, and they actually have what they call a Nara park. So it's like a tree or a deer park in Japan, I believe. I think if that's correct, but there's much more to come in October, November, December regarding my music channels and other plans for this channel. I'm really excited. Yes, and I like to share when things are completed and when they are physically and manifest. Or when they're physically manifested. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you around. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.